Hey, how's it going? All right, I wanted to talk about this because I just saw it. It's WESH Channel 2, and apparently they've got this guy on here supposed to be a legal expert, and he's talking about the wrongful death lawsuit that George might face. I just, it's hilarious that they're even talking about it. I noticed that CNN and all the other big channels had been talking about it right after the trial, but then they shut up about it, and you haven't heard a word about it. So let's take a listen.
Healing joins us now to explain why. Bob?
Well, Jim, if Zimmerman is sued for wrongful death or he seeks immunity from lawsuits, by law analysts say he would have to take the stand and face cross-examination.
WESH 2 legal analyst Jeff Dean says Trayvon Martin's family has firm legal grounds to sue George Zimmerman for money damages.
This is a legitimate wrongful death action. It's a legitimate wrongful death action. And why is it legitimate? Because Trayvon Martin didn't do anything illegal.
Well, that's his problem. You see, he's saying that Trayvon didn't do anything wrong, but if you look at the actual instructions to the jury, you'll see that actually Trayvon was doing something wrong, and that was suggested that he was committing aggravated battery against George. I mean, that was the finding of the jury. So that's why I say these guys obviously aren't legal experts.
Martin didn't do anything wrong.
Dean says juror B37's revelation that 3 of 6 jurors voted him guilty early on shows this case was never as open and shut as Zimmerman's defense claimed.
The reason that they voted that he may be guilty of different things, one juror said second-degree murder, 2 others said manslaughter. So what happened in the trial from that point, that was when they first sat down, until they made their verdict, was because they went through the law. They went through step by step through the jury instructions, and they came to the conclusion that under the law, not under the emotion of all the people, but under the law, there is no charge that they could put against George. Even those people who insisted that he was guilty of something, that he should get a spanking for something, they came to the conclusion that there was nothing.
And in civil court, Dean says Martin's family can use the allegation prosecutors should have used all along. Zimmerman's negligent actions led up to the fatal encounter.
The civil standard is much lower. The charge of wrongful death involves negligence, not an intentional act.
Well, that was the argument in the manslaughter argument, that it's not an intentional act. I mean, this guy's supposed to be a lawyer, and he doesn't understand that fact. It was not an intentional act under the manslaughter, but they still found him not guilty. Why? Why did they find him not guilty? This is the main point, and this is why these lawyers need to go back to school. Let me explain it to them. I know most people that listen to me know this already, but I'm going to explain it to them. When you defend your life against an attack, all crimes that you commit in that process are not illegal. Do you understand? If you kill somebody because you're defending your life, even if that person isn't attacking you, let's say somebody else is attacking you and they're chasing you, and you jump in your car and you haul butt to get away, and they're chasing you and they're shooting at you, and you slam into a car with a bunch of nuns, and you kill 6 nuns in the process. Guess what? You're not guilty of killing the nuns. Why? The nuns did nothing wrong. They were just walking or driving or whatever, and you killed them. You murdered the nuns. No, I didn't. What happened is, in the process of defending life, somebody else got in the way and it happened. That's how it happens, and that's why it's legal.
Zimmerman's defense has already suggested they can go back and ask the court for immunity from such lawsuits, but Dean says both an immunity hearing or a civil suit would require Zimmerman to testify.
Again, another ignorant statement. Ignorant. Listen, the trial is over. The court has heard the testimony. The jury has ruled. Now, if this lawyer would just take a look at the law, let's take a look at the law while we're here. All right. Use of force. It's a justifiable use of force. All right. So the jury found that under 776.012, George was not guilty. So here we have George being found not guilty based on this law. And what's this law says? What's this law say? It says a person is justified in the use of deadly force and does not have a duty to retreat if he reasonably believes that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm. Okay? So that's a fact. So that's how he got off. Done. He's off. Okay, now, what are they arguing? They're saying, well, this is civil case. Different standards. Okay, so let's scroll on down. We're still in the chapter. What's the name of the chapter? Justifiable use of force. Now let's scroll down. Let's keep scrolling. Ah, look at this. Immunity. What's this say? Immunity from criminal prosecution and civil action. So this guy's telling us that there's a civil action suit that's possible. Well, let's see what this law says. It says a person who uses force as permitted under 776.012. What's that? That sounds familiar. 776.012. Oh, that's right. That's the one that got him off. So he was justified under this law, 776.012, right? Right. So let's go back and look at the immunity law. A person who uses force as permitted in 776.012. That would be George. Anyone want to argue that case? I'd love to argue that case. Is justified in using such force and is immune from criminal prosecution and civil action for the use of such force. So, this little piece right here tells that lawyer that he doesn't have a clue of the law. And most people don't. I mean, I've been arguing for over a year about this case, and the legal experts on CNN, MSNBC, Headline News, even Fox has been so far off that they don't understand the rules and the laws. And I've been saying all along, what matters is that George was in fear for his life. That's all that matters.
In a civil lawsuit, there is no right to remain silent. George Zimmerman has to testify, and he has to talk.
He's already testified in the criminal trial through the use of those tapes. So let's take a look. What does it say? They can't, once he's been justified in the use of force, he's immune from civil action. Is that clear enough to this guy? Does he have any clue at all? So then it goes on, and it says that the court shall award reasonable attorney fees. Guess who's going to pay those reasonable attorney fees if the court awards them? You think the court pays it? So they're going to award, if somebody brings a case against George, the court is going to give George the attorney fees, court costs, compensation for loss of income, and all expenses incurred in the defense of any civil action brought against the plaintiff. So if George is sued civilly by the Martins, they'll be giving a large portion of their $1 million suit that they won, or that they were given from the homeowners association. The money that they have now will be gone. It'll all go to George. That's why they haven't filed a lawsuit. That's why this Daryl Parks guy keeps saying, well, we haven't decided. No, they can't. They wouldn't dare. It's impossible.
About what he did and why he did it.
And in a related development tonight, a spokesman for Zimmerman's defense tells NBC News it is now unlikely Zimmerman will take his gun back, though the judge ordered it returned to him. Jim.
Bob, thanks. Head to Washington.
Of course he'll take it back, eventually. So, anyway, I just wanted to bring this stuff up. There's no way that a civil suit can pass. Good talking to you guys. Bye.